Hello, hello. Hello. Yes, I think we should start now. It's already 2 minutes past one. Friends, I am Dr. V.K. Dabas, retired from LNIPE as professor in physical education. Many of you know that I have been associated with para sports in general and para swimming in particular since 1996. Presently, I am working as chairman of para swimming with the Paralympic Committee of India, and I have been requested by the Physical Education Foundation of India to talk about para sports in general. We will not be talking about the specific sports, rather we will be giving an idea about what para sports are and how they are being managed world over. Friends, coming to the very word para and Paralympic. See, this para word has been used in many languages. It is used in Greek language, in Turkish language, in Persian language, in Latin language. And it has various meanings, beside, parallel, near, altered, modified. But here in Paralympic, it has been taken from Greek word which means parallel. And the word Paralympic is derived from two words, from para and Olympic. So it becomes Paralympic. And Paralympic are the sports which are parallel to the Olympics. And these sports are for the people with different impairments, different disabilities. And one more thing I would like to mention here, that this Paralympic word is registered by the International Paralympic Committee. No one else can use this word except the international bodies and the national bodies. At the state level, at the district level, we cannot use this word. We cannot use Paralympic Association of so and so state. We have to have Para Sports Association of Delhi or Madhya Pradesh, like that. Anyway, so this word is derived from two words, para and Olympics, Paralympics. There is no O in between. Now coming on to the concept, how this concept came in. We being students of physical education, we studied that during the days of Sparta and Athens, when we studied the history of physical education, people with disabilities and illnesses were left on the hilltops to perish. Any illness or any sickness or disability was considered as a curse. भारत में तो आज भी अगर आप देखें देहात में तो झाड़ फूंक करवाई जाती है कुछ बीमारियों पे, तो ऐसा ये समझा जाता था. And people spend most of their lives in beds, in sanatoria, maybe in hospitals, maybe in houses, and nothing much was for them in the world. But things have changed and changed fast, especially after World War II. Because you know that in World War II, millions of people died and millions were injured. And since they were injured while saving their motherlands, while safeguarding their motherlands, they were injured because of their country. The governments thought that they should be looked after well. And beginning was made in England. We'll come to that later. Now we all know that things are changing. Even we are finding new words for it. The social climate has changed. People attitude has changed towards disability, and we are becoming more and more sensitive towards these people. The public policy has changed. Even in India, we brought in a Disability Act 2016. So even the governments and non-government agencies are trying their best, and they are making endless efforts to empower these people with disabilities. Even the new facilities are developed for them, new programs of education are being brought for them, new curriculums are being prepared for them, and even new terms are being used for them. We cannot call them anymore handicapped or disabled. We either call them specially abled or differently abled, and a very good word has been brought in by our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, Divyang. Divyang means a person with divine body. What a beautiful word he has brought in. In fact, since I have been associated with the para swimmers, I have myself noticed that these people do not lack. They lack in some movements, in some area, but they do not lack in many other fields. And we as a society has to provide them the opportunities, the facilities, the equipment, the learning environment as per their abilities. So it is said that they never fail. It is the society which fails in front of them. And now the society has started watching them. वो एक जो पुरानी एक half filled and half empty glass वाली जो philosophy है, तो society भी उनको इसी प्रकार से देखती है कि क्या उनके पास बचा है, क्या उन्होंने खोया है, उसको हम नहीं देखते हैं. Now coming on to the Paralympic Games, how they are started, as I said that a big change was brought in by after the World War II, and the Paralympic Games, they actually were earlier in the form of rehabilitation activity, recreational sports, and later on only they came to the competitive arena. A very humble beginning was made about 75 years back at the end of 1944 or in the beginning of 45, when the British government requested their one doctor named Ludwig Guttmann. He was working as a doctor in Stoke Mandeville Hospital in Aylesbury, England. It is near London. He was given the responsibility to look after the people who were disabled during the war for their rehabilitation. And while he was rehabilitating them in that department, he realized that physical activities and recreational activities are perhaps the best way to enhance their quality of life. And last year I delivered a lecture empowering the people with disabilities with the Madhya Pradesh State Sport Department in the directorate. And there I delivered a lecture how best they can be empowered through sports. Rather, sports are considered to be the best way, the best process of empowering these people. So a humble beginning was made in 1945, where this doctor Guttmann, he started some recreational activities, some modified games, some small area games for these people, and most of them were on the wheelchairs. Initially the activities were started for the amputees and the wheelchair people, and they were all wounded during the World War II. And he continues his efforts. He tried to conduct the games. He wanted to conduct the games not only at the national level, he wanted to conduct at the international level modified activities. And he could succeed after working 3 years. In July 1948, to coincide with the opening ceremony of the London Olympics in 1948, we know that they were conducted in London. To coincide with those Olympics, he conducted wheelchair games in the hospital itself, and these games were called Stoke Mandeville Games. Initially, only wheelchair athletes were there, and some modified games, and mainly archery was the main sport conducted. And friends, I would like to mention here that initially these sports were governed by the federations and associations of different disability. There were different disability groups. There were not sport or associations or federations. There were federations for people with cerebral palsy, for physically challenged, for wheelchair, for amputees, for visually impaired, for deaf and dumb. So there were different federations. Dr. Gutmann tried his best, and he has been working very hard, but he could succeed after 12 years. And in Rome, when the Olympics were conducted in Rome, Italy, in 1960, some games were conducted internationally after the Olympics at Rome. So 12 years later, he could succeed, and the first games were conducted in 1960. And because these were a symbolic gesture, and almost 400 people participated, athletes participated from 23 different countries in 8 different sports. They were considered as honored and considered as the first Paralympic Games. And friends, with this humble beginning, we all know that now how popular the Paralympic Games have begun. In Rio, if we say, more than 5,000 athletes were there, more than 165 countries had participated, and there were 22 sports, and 526 medals were at stake. And the reports say that more than 1.2 million people, tickets were sold, and many million people watched the Paralympic Games on the TV. Friends, as I said that we have been conducting Summer Paralympics since 1968. The Paralympic Committee also International Paralympic Committee also started conducting Winter Olympic Games in 6 of the sports, and first were conducted in 1976 in Sweden. In 1972, the 4-year cycle was modified, and the Paralympic Games are nowadays being conducted 2 weeks after the Olympics at the same venue on the same facilities. We all know that. So the Dr. Ludwig Gutmann vision for sports for athletes with disabled continues even today, and he died in 1980, and he is known as the father of Paralympic Games, Dr. Ludwig Gutmann. Friends, coming on to the birth of International Paralympic Committee, as I said that initially we had disability-specific international sports organizations. They are known as ISODs. Those were for vision impaired, for amputees, for dwarf, for cerebral palsy and paraplegic people, hearing impaired, and also intellectually impaired people. From 1972 till 1989, these OSDs had many combinations and many affiliations, and there was a lot of politics, but finally they all came together in 1989. On 22nd September, they all agreed and they formed International Paralympic Committee. In Düsseldorf in Germany, this was made, this International Paralympic Committee. We call it IPC. Some of the, of course, some of the IOSDs are still functional. They have their individual identities, but it is the International Paralympic Committee which controls the para sports in the world. It is a non-profit organization, and the vision of the International Paralympic Committee is to enable Paralympic athletes to achieve sporting excellence and inspire and excite the world. How beautiful it is worded. The membership of IPC today stands around 170 nations, national Paralympic committees, and the head office is now situated in Bonn, Germany, and English is the working language for the IPC. Now, coming on to the structure of the International Paralympic Committee, we all know the structure of International Olympic Committee, but it slightly differs here in case of Paralympic Committee, because it differs. Certain sports are being governed by the able body federations all over the world, and they have their affiliated bodies in India also. Some sports are being governed by the international disability federations, some of the sports like basketball. But able-bodied federations, all racket sports are with the able-bodied federations, racket sports. Volleyball has separate, basketball has separate disability sports federations. And friends, four summer sports and 6 winter sports are governed directly by the IPC. IPC itself is the Federation for Swimming, for athletics, for powerlifting and shooting, plus 6 winter sports. So these 4 summer sports are directly looked after by the International Federation, that is the IPC, International Paralympic Committee. And in India also they are being governed by the Paralympic Committee of India. So that is the difference, the IPC structure and the IOC structure, because IPC itself also governs 4 sports. IOC does not govern directly any sport itself. Coming on to the Paralympic Committee of India, friends, tracing the history of Indian para sports, there were many individual athletes going abroad at their level and taking part in several international championships, and even they were not even classified well properly initially. The first attempt was made one Mr. M. Mahadeva, international and Arjuna Awardee, international athlete and Arjuna Awardee. In 1992 in Bangalore, they formed Physically Handicapped Sports Federation of India. Say the word physically handicapped. Nowadays this word is no more used, and later on the name was changed to Paralympic Committee of India. They registered under the Societies Registration Act in 1994. In 92 it was formed, and 94 it was registered, and it is now known as the Paralympic Committee of India. It is being recognized by the Government of India. It is affiliated to the International Paralympic Committee. The Government of India recognized it in 2005. 2005 it was recognized by the Government of India. Now coming on to the achievements, though I will be going in detail. Indian para-athletes have made a lot of progress, and the progress is quite fast. Till today, in 15 years, we have 2 Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna awardees with us. We have 5 Padam Shri awardees. We have 28 Arjuna awardees from Paralympic sports. 5 Dronacharya awards we have, and we have 2 Dhyan Chand awardees. Dhyan Chand Award, and there are several athletes which have been bestowed with, who have been bestowed with the President Awards by the central government as best athletes. Coming on to the achievements, talking about the medals by the Indian para athletes. As I said that though the individuals have been going and participating, but not records are available. The records say that first time India participated in Paralympic Games in Israel, Tel Aviv, in 1968. Later on only they were conducted in the cities where the Olympics are conducted. In 1972 Summer Paralympics, one Murli Kant Petkar, he broke the world record by swimming 50-meter freestyle in 37.33 seconds. There is no much literature available on him. In 1984, in New York Paralympics, Jogendra Singh Bedi, he won a silver medal in shot put, and he won 2 bronze medals in discus and javelin. One Mr. Bhimrao Kesarkar, he won silver medal in javelin throw. So they were athletes from athletics. In 2004, we all know that Devinder Jhajeria from Rajasthan, a great javelin thrower India has ever produced. He won the gold medal in his class, and one Mr. Rajendra Singh, he won bronze medal in powerlifting there in Athens Paralympics. In 2012, H.N. Girisa from Bangalore, he won the silver medal in men's high jump in London, in the Paralympic Games held in London. But we had the best achievements in the last Rio Paralympics, where we won four medals in total. We won 2 golds, 1 silver and 1 bronze. If you remember, Devinder Jhajeria again broke his world record with the gold. After a gap of 12 years, he again won the gold at the Paralympics. Mariappan from Tamil Nadu, he won the gold medal in high jump. Deepa Malik, now she is Dr. Deepa Malik. She is also the president of Paralympic Committee of India at the moment. She is Arjuna Awardee. She is bestowed with the Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award, also Padam Shri, and she is a great motivational speaker. She won for the first time a silver medal in shot put, and she was the oldest ever athlete to win a medal at Paralympics and the first Indian woman to win a medal at the Paralympics. At the same Paralympics, Varun Singh Bhati, he clinched the bronze medal in men's high jump. So we won these 4 medals, 2 golds, 1 silver and 1 bronze medal at the Paralympic Games. Now coming on to the competition part. Friends, you must be wondering that how they can compete against each other when there are so many variations and so many types of disabilities and so many combinations, permutations and combinations. Somebody not having both arms, somebody not having both legs, somebody having 1 arm, somebody having 1 arm, somebody having half arm, somebody having some cerebral palsy, somebody is visually impaired. So they are being medically classified. Nobody is given any undue advantage. To make them at par in the competition, they are being classified into different classes. We call it medical classification. And it depends on their functioning, how much their body functions. Just to avoid the undue advantage to any para-athlete, they are divided and they are called as sport classes. And it is sport specific. Remember, classification differs from sport to sport, and it is the responsibility of individual international federation to train the classifiers, and to get the athletes of their sport classified. There is usually a team of 2 classifiers. One is from the medical background, can be a physiotherapist, can be a physician, can be an orthopedic surgeon, who knows about the bones and the body parts, and who knows about a bit of anthropometry and can measure the limbs also and the body sizes. Then there is one technical classifier who is the expert of the sport, maybe a coach with who knows the whole biomechanics of the sport, who knows, like for example in swimming, if somebody is not having 1 palm, the coach should know, the classifier should know that how much he is going to lose in freestyle, how much he is going to lose in backstroke or in butterfly or in breaststroke, how much is likely to be the loss, and if somebody is not having a leg or 2 legs. So he should know how this disability is going to affect a particular athlete. So this classification panel consists of 2 persons, a medical person and 1 sport expert with the knowledge of sports biomechanics. And friends, they see 3 things. The first thing is they have to first see, when the athlete comes for classification, before the competition, they are to be classified and they are to be allotted a class. They have to first see whether the disability he is having is eligible, whether it falls under the eligible impairment list. I will come next on those eligible impairments. What is eligible and what is not eligible, and then they have to see the minimum disability criteria. Somebody might be disabled. Earlier days, somebody not having 2 fingers in the hand, they were also considered as disabled. But in swimming nowadays, you have to lose a minimum 15 points to be eligible to swim in the Paralympic events. Minimum disability, for example, somebody not having 1 foot or maybe half of the palm is missing, then only he becomes eligible. Leg length, there could be leg length difference, there could be arm length difference. There are criteria set for this. So they have to see the eligible impairment first, and then they have to see the minimum disability criteria, and then only they decide after the medical test, the bench test, the measurements, and also they see the person performing in the event, observation method. For example, in swimming, they see him swimming all the 4 strokes, and then rate him. So they then decide which sport class the athlete falls in. Now coming on to the disabilities, the various disabilities. There are 10 disabilities, 8 of them are physical disabilities, and 2 are visually, and other one is the intellectual retardation impairment. The first is impaired muscle power. If somebody is having some weakness in the muscles because of maybe spinal cord injury, maybe spina bifida, or maybe because of polio, or maybe some other thing, if somebody is having impaired muscle power, then impaired passive range of movement. Remember, it is passive range of movement, not active. Somebody may not be able to move his joint, but whether he is able to move the joint with outside help. If the joint is moving by the outside help, he is not eligible. He has to develop that strength so that he is able to move. And this could be because of the hypermobility of the joints. Even hypermobility is not considered. Joint instability, acute conditions such as arthritis, they fall under eligible impairment. Limb deficiency, somebody is missing, some limb is missing, maybe because of some bone cancer, maybe by dysmelia. Somebody from birth, they are not having some limb, maybe because of trauma, some accident, some amputees. Then the fourth is the leg difference. Sometimes there are differences in the leg length, so that is also eligible. That could be because of the amputation. Then there is short stature, the dwarf, what we call it, achondroplasia, the medical name. They have in swimming, for example, the female swimmers have to be below 130 centimeters in S6 class, 137 centimeters in S7 class. The male swimmers have to be below 137 centimeters in S6 class and 145 centimeters in S7 class. So these details can be found on the website. Then the sixth disability is the hypertonia, abnormal increase in muscle tension or a reduce in the ability of the muscle stretch due to neurological conditions such as cerebral palsy, spasticity जिसको हम बोलते हैं, या ब्रेन इंजरी की वजह से हो सकता है, या मल्टीपल स्क्लेरोसिस की वजह से हो सकता है. The seventh is the ataxia, lack of coordination of the muscular movements due to neurological conditions, such as again the same because of brain injury. Could be because of spasticity. Then athetosis. Athetosis is unbalanced body, involuntary movements of the body, and difficulty in maintaining a symmetrical body structure, body posture. They could be again because of neurological conditions. So these 8 disabilities, impairments, they are in the physical category. The 9th one is the visual impaired. We have 3 categories in swimming under this disability: S11, S12, S13. S11 swimmers are those who can't see at all, who are totally blind. S12 swimmers are those who has some perception about the things in front. They can see, yes, there is arm, there is a hand in front, and very closely they can see the things. S12 and S13 swimmers, though they are also having they are also visually impaired, but they can see the things. When they walk, they can see that somebody is standing in front. They can do their own work. So and then the 10th is intellectual impairment. The people with the low IQ level, at international level in swimming, it is 75 and below. IQ level, when the IQ level is below 75 or below, then they fall in this category. So these are the 10 disability categories to be eligible to take part in disability sports. Coming on to the para sports, the last part. What are the sports in para category? Friends, I have listed here. There is archery, wheelchair archery is also there. Archery, we have athletics. There are different events, different classes in athletics. There is badminton, the sitting and also standing. These sports have then separate category also. We have Bosia, we have canoeing. Canoeing has been introduced, and in the coming Olympics, they have some medals there. We have cycling, we have equestrian, we have football five-a-side. There used to be seven-a-side earlier, but that is removed. It is five-a-side. There is one goal ball. There is judo. Judo is for the visually impaired only at the moment. There is powerlifting, and there is only one event in powerlifting, only bench press they have. There is rowing. There is shooting. India is doing very well in shooting. India is doing very well in badminton also, in athletics. They are doing very well. Archery also, we are doing very well. There is sitting volleyball. We have swimming. Yesterday I delivered a lecture on Zoom on para swimming. Then there is table tennis, standing and both wheelchair. There is taekwondo. Taekwondo is there. Triathlon is there. Then there is wheelchair basketball, wheelchair fencing, wheelchair rugby, and wheelchair tennis. These are the 22 summer sports. And we have 6 winter sports: alpine skiing, we have biathlon, we have cross country skiing, we have para ice hockey, we have snowboard, and we have wheelchair curling. So these are 6 winter sports. Though in India we have made a small beginning last year in Jammu and Kashmir with the help of our Para Sports Association of J&K. Winter sports we are starting, we are making a beginning in that. We have to work hard a lot for them. So that was my lecture, friends. Thank you very much. I don't know how to see the questions here. If there are any questions, you can put the questions to me if you want to know more about. Otherwise, if you want to learn a bit more about para sports, you can go to the site of International Paralympic Committee. IPC is just nothing but www.paralympic.org. Paralympic, no S, only paralympic.org. You go to the site, and then you go to the different sports there, and you will find the rules and regulations of different sports, the classification rules, the sport rules, competition rules. Everything is given there about the championships, about the athletes, every detail. In India, our Paralympic Committee of India is also having our site, paralympicindia.org. So you can visit there, and you can call me if you have some more questions, if you have any questions. Thank you very much. Hello. I am searching if there is any question here. No, I don't find any question. Some comments are there. Though the Paralympic, the PEFI has also requested to write the questions, but I don't find any question here. Only there are greetings. Good afternoon, sir. I am watching. Thanks, and all are there. So, friends, thank you very much. Yes, there is Bharat Pawar, sir. I am a wheelchair cricketer. What about it? Yes, friends. Though cricket is not a Paralympic sport, it is not governed by the IPC or the PCI in India. There is a separate board, and you know that very soon. There are several associations in India, 2-3 associations. वाडेकर साहब भी थे, एक हमारे फ्रेंड हैं रवि चौहान, वो भी हैं इसमें. लेकिन very soon it is going to come under BCCI. They will have a separate chairman for wheelchair cricket. और अगर पता है आप किस स्टेट के हो तो मैं बता सकता हूँ. आप रवि चौहान जी से पता कर लें. हाउ यू कैन कॉन्टैक्ट योर स्टेट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, व्हीलचेयर क्रिकेट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. मध्य प्रदेश में एक मिस्टर तोमर हैं, वो हैंडल करते हैं इसको. I don't see any specific question here, so I am going to end it. Color blindness, no color blindness, I am sorry. There is Sachin Patel asking for color blindness. No, it doesn't fall under disability. I am sorry, I did not mention that in my lecture. Do we have para games for school going children? Friends, not yet. जो स्कूल गेम्स फेडरेशन और SGFI है वो अभी कर नहीं रही है. Though we have the PCI is conducting like we conduct the national championships in swimming, sub junior, junior, but our rule is a minimum 12 years of age. At local level they can participate in swimming, but for participating at the national level the minimum age has to be 12 years. So I think I have answered your question. You have to contact, though we are trying our best. Paralympic Committee has returned to the HRD Ministry and to SGFI, also to SAI and to government, that we must start the games for the people with disabilities like SGFI. We are trying our best. Rakesh Tomar ji has given his comments. आगे प्रमोट करें ग्राउंड लेवल पर क्लासिफाई इंडिया में क्यों नहीं होती. निपेंद्र चौरे. निपेंद्र जी, यू आर फ्रॉम भोपाल. आई नो यू आर ए शॉर्ट पुटर और आपका क्लासिफिकेशन हो चुका है लास्ट टाइम नेशनल में. नेशनल क्लासिफिकेशन, इंटरनेशनल क्लासिफिकेशन जब होगा जब आप इंटरनेशनल में जाएंगे. आई नो यू पर्सनली, निपेंद्र चौरे. यू आर फ्रॉम भोपाल. आपका नेशनल क्लासिफिकेशन हो चुका है. You are in I think F53 category. I know your category also. Color blindness का दोबारा क्वेश्चन है. नहीं, वो नहीं इंक्लूड होता है. Wrestling, somebody has asked wrestling. No, wrestling is still not in. Mahasingh Rao has asked, wrestling is not in para sports. Is there any coach in Indira Gandhi Stadium, Delhi? There are coaches, but they are not para coaches. एथलेटिक के कोच वहाँ हैं मिस्टर सत्यपाल सिंह. वो वहाँ ट्रेनिंग देते हैं नेहरू स्टेडियम पर दिल्ली में. आप वहाँ हमारे कई इंटरनेशनल पैरा एथलीट हैं, वो भी वहाँ प्रैक्टिस करते हैं. तो आप उनको प्लीज़ कांटेक्ट करें. आई डोंट नो वेदर ड्यू टू द लॉकडाउन द ट्रेनिंग इज स्टिल गोइंग ऑन और नॉट. स्वीटी सांत्रा है, ये तो स्विमिंग कोच है. आई नो हर. देन भारत पवार. ओके सर. Wheelchair cricket, para start games. Yes, you can start. Somebody is asking, can we start? Please contact your state sports organization association. I don't see any other questions. Sir, mental disability. Yes, I mentioned that intellectual disability है, लेकिन वो intellectual disability 18 साल से पहले होनी चाहिए और IQ level जो है वो 75 and below होना चाहिए. अवधेश झा ने ये सवाल पूछा है. सर पैरा स्विमिंग, हाँ कांति भाई हैं. अभी इस लेक्चर से पहले उनका फ़ोन आया था. कांति भाई परमार वहाँ हैं, आप ज़रूर उनसे कांटेक्ट करें. गुजरात में बहुत अच्छी स्विमिंग होती है. राजस्थान में ऑलरेडी है वहाँ पैरालंपिक स्विमिंग. राजस्थान के तो जगदीश तेली है. बहुत अच्छे अच्छे स्विमर हमारे राजस्थान से आते हैं. जगदीश तेली तो इंग्लिश चैनल पार करके आया है. पिंटू है वहाँ पर. Amarjit Sandhu, my classmate, is watching. Mental disability, I have. बिहार में कौन चलाता है? डॉक्टर संजीव कुमार जी पूछ रहे हैं और डॉक्टर शिवाजी वहाँ, ही इज़ द नाउ द कमिश्नर फॉर डिसेबिलिटीज़. यू प्लीज़ कॉन्टैक्ट. बिहार में पूछा है आपने, वहाँ कौन चलाता है, तो आप प्लीज़ कॉन्टैक्ट करिए डॉक्टर शिवाजी को. कमिश्नर हैं आपके वो स्टेट के डिसेबिलिटीज़ के. Is the right man, he can guide you. Suggest training courses. Yes, you can go through. You contact me. Somebody is asking training courses. Yes, friends. So one more thing I want to mention here, that Paralympic Committee of India will soon start after the lockdown is open. Somewhere in October, November. Hope so. We are starting the technical official courses online and also face-to-face courses, level 1, level 2s. We are starting coaching courses, we are starting classification courses, and we are also going to start sport event management, para sport event management courses. So you can contact me. Yes. Thank you very much. I don't think there is any more question. Thank you very much. I am finishing it.